Why don't hens get angry when humans take their eggs? Anyone who has raised chickens knows that if you bring a handful of grain when collecting eggs, you can essentially steal them without a fight. Sometimes, even if a hen witnesses the act, she might not mind. Laying an egg doesn't automatically trigger a fierce mother bear mode, where she'll fight to the death to protect her offspring. Whether she defends the eggs depends largely on whether she has entered a state of broodiness. Egg laying is primarily linked to the ovulation cycle, whereas broodiness signifies that she is ready to settle down, incubate the eggs, and protect them. As is well known, a hen doesn't need to mate with a rooster to lay eggs. Even without a rooster in the coop, provided the lighting, nutrition, and hormonal balance are right, she will continue to ovulate and lay eggs regularly. However, since these eggs are unfertilized, they will never hatch into chicks. These are the infertile eggs we commonly see. Interestingly, hens cannot distinguish between fertilized and unfertilized eggs. The decision to go broody depends on her hormonal state, genetic predisposition, the number of eggs in the nest. Consequently, when a human takes an egg, the hen rarely sounds a kidnapping alarm in her brain. She has likely just finished laying the egg and hasn't yet entered a true broody state. During a normal laying period, a hen might simply walk away after laying an egg, but once she enters a broody state, her behavior changes drastically. She will sit in the nest for long periods, eat and drink less, gather all nearby eggs beneath her belly, and remain highly vigilant against any creature approaching the nest. If you dare reach in to take an egg, then you're in for serious trouble. It's a perilous situation. So, what exactly triggers this broody mode? It turns out there is a key endocrine switch involved, prolactin. Hormone might seem completely unrelated to chickens, but in reality, prolactin plays a crucial role in promoting and maintaining broody behavior in hens. Data from a study on hen broodiness shows that when a hen begins to sit on her eggs to incubate them, her average plasma prolactin level surges from approximately 24.8 ng/ml to 100.3 ng/ml, nearly a fourfold increase. This behavior isn't a sudden change of heart where the hen decides to take motherhood seriously. Rather, it is triggered by hormonal shift, specifically the rise in prolactin that make her willing to settle down and incubate. Interestingly, hens aren't particularly discerning when it comes to identifying their own eggs. Several hens might share a single nesting spot, lining up to lay their eggs there. The hen that ultimately settles in to incubate might find herself sitting on a clutch that represents the hope of the entire village. She doesn't care which eggs are hers and which belong to Widow Lee next door, as long as the size and shape are roughly right, or even if it's just a stone, she happily tuck it under her body. Poultry keepers often place a decoy egg such as a wooden one or a peach-shaped fake in the nest to encourage hens to lay in a specific spot. Seeing an egg already there signals to the hen that the location is a proven, reliable spot, prompting her to return. You see, this is why humans, not chickens, are the smartest species on Earth. Just as the hen finishes filling the nest, humans swoop in and collect the entire clutch, leaving behind a decoy egg to restart the cycle, effectively turning the hen into a perpetual motion machine of egg laying. However, this isn't just humans toying with the birds. If a keeper fails to remove the eggs promptly, the accumulating clutch can trigger the hen's broody instinct. Once she focuses on incubation, she reduces or stops laying altogether to devote her energy to hatching and guarding the nest, turning that perpetual motion machine into a broody sitter that produces no eggs for the market. Modern laying hens are the product of long-term selective breeding based on two main criteria: a low tendency to go broody and high egg production. Consequently, the instinct to brood has weakened in many high-producing breeds, while their laying capacity has increased. In some strains, the tendency to go broody has been virtually eliminated. Consequently, modern hens do not react particularly strongly when their eggs disappear. They are more likely to simply go back to pecking at their feed and wandering around until the next ovulation cycle prompts them to lay another egg. From an individual hen's perspective, the egg she lays is destined to be taken by humans, a somewhat unfortunate fate. Yet, viewed from the perspective of the species as a whole, chickens have achieved a deep, symbiotic bond with humanity through their meat and eggs. Humans build them coops, provide feed, and even assist with artificial incubation to ensure stable reproduction. In terms of genetic propagation, chickens have hit the jackpot. However, while the total population and geographical spread of chickens have expanded massively to meet human demand, this does not necessarily mean the living conditions of any single hen have improved. Long-term selective breeding has resulted in chickens that grow faster and larger. Logically, one might expect their living space to expand in tandem, but the reality is often that while the chickens grow ever bigger, the enclosures remain the same size, leaving them with extremely limited room to move in high-density farming environments. Thus, while the species has achieved immense numerical success through its association with humans, for the individual hen, this success is not necessarily something to celebrate.